know the answer.
So, all right, we're back from CoverRadio.com, and we're talking about the problem they're having in Illinois and as well as some other states in getting ballots to American soldiers. Now, federal law dictates that they had to get those ballots to those soldiers by a certain time so they could vote absentee and get their ballots counted. Now, my question is this. Supposing you got a razor-thin election, which I think you're going to see all over the place. Razor-thin elections. And a lot of these ballots should not get sent out to these to the troops so they can send them back and get them in time so that these ballots be counted.
Right.
Now, if that's a violation of federal law, and if federal law is paramount over state law,
which is
can't
by the
you
way,
make a legal case that says that you know that the election is null and void unless those ballots are counted?
I think you could. I think there are lawyers.
Wouldn't if you disenfranchise, say, the black community by reinstating poll taxes and literacy tests and things like that, although that would mean nothing to the black community today,
right?
Like it did back in the 50s and the early 60s.
Yes.
But supposing you had something like that, wouldn't that nullify any election held in any state if they disenfranchised entire groups of people by putting up obstacles that they could not surmount?
I think it would.
Well, isn't that the case then for our soldiers?
Here's the thing. I agree with what you're saying. I agree with.
Why doesn't Illinois want its soldiers to vote?
Because the odds are their soldiers are going to vote conservative.
2 out of 3 votes from the military come in
for the Republican
Party.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why.
And we're not talking chicken feed votes here. We're talking about tens of thousands of votes that can swing an entire election.
And here's the thing. This is what I don't understand. The Democrats love to spend money. And the Republicans are the ones seen as raising the salary of the military. And they do. The Republicans do raise the military salary every time they come into office. Now, every president raises military salaries, but one year, Reagan raised military salary 17%.
I'd give an arm and a leg to make the kind of money.
And
it's not much, but I'm talking about my profession.
That's the
I'd give an arm and a leg
to
some of that.
Are literally giving an arm and a leg. So we pay them.
Yeah, they are.
And so we should. And and I'm not arguing about the pay. What I'm saying is I don't understand why Democrats who are big on government spending and want to put money into the hands of the impoverished don't spend more money on paying the military, because most of the ranks of the military, especially the enlisted ranks, the conscripts, if you will, do not come from wealthy families. It is an opportunity.
We don't have conscripts anymore.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I understand. The enlisted guy.
The rated men. The rank and file troops generally come from lower income families. It is an opportunity for them through the government
also,
to raise their status.
There's a disproportionate number of minorities.
Yes, there is.
And there's a reason why. Why do you suppose minorities find the military such an admirable career? Something that they actually aspire to. And I'll tell you why. The 2 single most significant institutions to desegregate way ahead of the Civil Rights Movement. First was Major League Baseball. They were absolutely first. They did not wait.
Right.
And right behind them, hot on their heels, was the United States Armed Forces.
Oh, yeah.
Desegregated when Jim Crow was still running amok all over the South, and not just the South, the Midwest, the Northeast. There's a common misconception that this was just a Southern problem. It was nationwide.
No, it absolutely was. And you had things like the Tuskegee Airmen, people like Dory Miller. You had the Black War heroes, the Korean War. You had Lieutenant Jesse Armstrong. People who were in black men in uniform doing great things, and black men and women in the military service doing great things. And it is still upheld in minority communities, and even in white. It's upheld nationwide as an honorable profession.
That's right.
It is a financially sound profession that does not require a college degree to get started. It requires no formal training.
That's right.
All you have to do, and in some cases you don't even have to do this, is leave high school. You don't even have to graduate. You can get your GED in the service. It's just not having a GED or not having a high school.
Did you ever see Tuskegee
eliminates certain jobs. I love the movie.
Oh, it's wonderful. There's this wonderful line in. I hope I got the right film. There's this wonderful line where a black officer is brought before a committee of Congress. And it was all over the issue of desegregating the military.
Right.
And a congressman looks at this guy and says, "Tell me, how do you feel about your country?" and which is really an offensive kind of question to ask, because the guy says, I fought in World War II. I put my life on the line for my country. I got to tell you, the question I ask is, how does my country feel about me?
Yeah.
And I thought, that was a great line.
Beautiful line.
What a great line! Because I got to tell you right now, there are a lot of people in the conservative movement who are elbow to elbow in the civil rights movement as well.
Right.
Who were joined right in on that. Because I found the civil rights movement a very conservative kind of concept.
Well, and you'd be hard pressed you would think you would be hard pressed to defend that, but I encourage everybody to go.
I find it easy to defend.
To go to charlestonteaparty.org. Now, I'm not plugging another website, but there's a reason I bring this up.
When are we going to get these people on here?
Give it time, sir. They're busy right now.
Tea Party, you need to get on here.
Get your ass in gear.
That's right.
The charlestonteaparty.org, search for a man named Charles Early. He wrote an article called "What the Tea Party Can Learn from the Failure of the Civil Rights Movement." Charles Early is a man of faith, a conservative, and he's black. And he's a wonderful, wonderful man. And this article is very, very well written, and it just absolutely lays to waste the ideology that the civil rights movement is somehow to be is complete.
Right. There is the fastest growing segment of the Republican Party is actually African American.
I'm not surprised at all.
There is I was talking to Ken Glasson and Ken Dilks.
Yes.
Ken Glasson, who ran for the 1st Congressional District in South Carolina, and Ken Dilks, who is the co-chairman, I think, of the Republican Party. I don't know if it's locally in South Carolina. I was talking about it, and I said, look, I likened all this, the fact that you got people like Tim Scott, J.C. Watts, Condoleezza Rice,
Nikki Haley,
Nikki Haley, if you will. But I liken this to a great quarterback who's being recruited out of high school. And I said, come to Alabama, come to Michigan, come to Penn State, that sort of thing. Well, okay, you're going to go there, and you're going to wind up having to compete against the best people in the country. Yeah. And so, I like that there was once a great quarterback at Somerville High School who was highly recruited all across the country, went to Bama. Ooh, he's going to Bama. No one ever heard from him again.
Yeah, he never played.
He was recruited from Bama so they would never have to play against him.
Yep.
If I am
Bear
a great
Bryant
running
was
back,
famous for that.
Oh yeah, Bear Bryant was famous. If I'm a great running back, if I'm a great quarterback, I want to go to a program where I know I'm going to be able to break in early.
I tell you, the program I'm going to next year is Tennessee.
Tennessee, I'll tell you, Tennessee's the place to go.
Tennessee, Kentucky, a mid-level SEC team, or Mississippi State, a team on the rise.
On the rise, Mississippi State is 7-2. Those boys are serious contenders.
Yep.
All right. I met Tim Scott. No, we've got just a minute yet. I met Tim Scott.
Fantastic human being. Very nice guy.
Now, I want y'all to know, those of you who follow the show, I have tried to meet the Democrats. We've invited the Democrats to come in.
I have.
They will not even respond to our request.
No.
One did. That was Robert Burton, remember?
Yep.
And Robert Burton was so sure he was going to win.
Because he was running against?
He was running Ben Frazier.
Who had run for everything.
Everything. He'd run like 11 times.
Ben Frazier ran for student council president at Somerville High School last year.
That's right. So he said, I'll see you on the 18th of June. I said, everything, whoa, that's after the primary. You're feeling pretty confident there, aren't you? So they said, no, we'll see you on June 18th.
Pride
lost.
Pride going?
Before the fall.
Amen,
Robert Burton lost, and it's too bad. He's the closest we came to getting a Democrat on here, but none of the others will come on. I'll give this to the Republicans and to the Libertarians. They'll come on.
Right. They'll defend their position.
And if you watch the show, you'll know we do not play gotcha journalism. If you come in here, we're not going to say, okay, who's the premier of Azerbaijan? We don't that kind of crap. That comes from the mainstream media, which is the left-stream media.
To quote Wolf Blitzer, what Supreme Court decisions do you disagree with recently?
Dick.
What a douche.
I'm sorry.
Wolf Blitzer, minus 4,600.
All right.
Douche.
So anyway, I'm glad Rick Sanchez is gone. As they said, that's one Sanchez down, one Blitzer left to go. Anyway, we'll be right back. We were supposed to cover Pennsylvania. We'll be right back with the rest of the races from CoverRadio.com in just a minute.
Yeah, apparently CNN's pants aren't big enough to hide two assholes.